That was a clean square body.
Did we get it on there?
I think we're waiting. It's still showing me
He's
waiting.
the one that's got an 86 that he got in high school from his dad, that his dad owned,
Nice.
that he still has, lifted on 40s. Hey, we're back in here. Now it's
Guys,
live.
I'm going to apologize for the technical difficulties. We are on vertical today, but it's fine. You'll still be able to see.
One of these days we'll figure it out. We think between all of us we'd know what we're doing, but it's just the way the world works sometimes.
We'll let the crowd build up before we talk about anything, but we should probably first talk about why we're doing this on Thursday after we promised everybody we'd do it every other Friday.
Yeah, that's kind of people don't like that usually when you change things up on them because it's appointment programming.
I've scheduled my entire life around this, as we expect people to do. Tomorrow is the Rockies home opener.
Opening day.
It's opening day. So as the official car wash of the Rockies, my team will be there to audit. We have signage all over the stadium.
Make sure it's in the right spot.
Make sure it's in the right spot, not upside down. Doesn't say Autowash or something like that. But the other part of it is just it's opening day.
Yeah, it's kind of a good reason to go.
But you know, as it is Colorado, and
it's
currently snowing
right now.
So
it's cold and snowy.
We've only had one other. I think I was looking at this where they've since '96 or whatever it was when the Rockies started. They've only had one day where it snowed on opening day.
Oh.
So this is only the second. So we're making history with our participation, but it is what it is. We'll survive.
Well, hopefully it warms up because of Saturday and Sunday's games.
Yes.
It'd be not fun if the snow continued.
It would be.
But
so there's a couple of housekeeping items. We'll mention it a few times during the stream, but so we drew our first lucky winner. So for those watching, if you're not aware, Autowash maintains a set of 4 seats. This year they are in the press club.
Which is quite nice.
Directly behind home plate. Comes with a fabulous food spread. There's a little corner of the ballpark food. You can get your own hot dogs and your popcorn, and they have build your own ice cream sundae bar, and it's ridiculous. So we have those seats as our corporate seats, and we use them internally. They're rewards for employees and stuff, but then we also make sure to give those away. So our very first drawing was today. So people have been entering since March.
Nice.
We had somewhere around 890 people enter, and these are just members.
Pretty good.
It was available to members first, right? Yeah. So they opt in. They say, I want to enter to win some Rockies tickets. Well, I wrote here on my handy dandy remarkable, and we'll share the name, and we'll be in touch with this person because I drew just before this. So I want to give maximum opportunity for everybody to enter, and so I fed the spreadsheet of all the entries into my buddy ChatGPT. You may have heard of him. And I said, randomize these people and make it random and don't let me choose. And so ChatGPT did this really cool thing. It's like, oh, I'll do this. I'll make this algorithm. And it says, click the button when you're ready. I said, clicked it. And it's like, things happened. And it said, your winner is Derek Crowiner. So Derek is a class member. He joined Autowash a little over a year ago, January of 2024. And he washes at Longmont near my house.
Nice.
Lark Ridge. And Vista. And several others. Those are the ones with the most.
He's up around that area.
Yep. He has $1,300 in lifetime savings as a
Very
member.
nice.
So he's saving money. And he and 3 friends are going to go. They get VIP parking right in front of the stadium. They get private entrance into the press club, and they get the Autowash sheets for the game.
Isn't this like a $900 value?
It's probably well in excess of that by the time you add in food and everything. It's bananas. So he's going to go to a game. We're going to be reaching out to him probably right after this, get him his tickets. But he is going. He'll be on the 8th. He'll be attending the game. So
nice.
We're very excited for that.
That'll be good. Congrats, Derek.
And like G-Daves, how far are you from Coors Field? G-Daves, we are about from here
15 minutes.
20 minutes tops. Just pretty much straight out I-70, very close by.
And if you want to, you can have fun and you can cruise down Martin Luther King Boulevard.
You can, yes.
Which is just like a couple blocks away, and that is it's an interesting drive.
It's interesting.
It takes you around the back of 5 Points, and then you come in and
see all that Denver has to offer.
Yes, you do. It's quite fun. That was when we and Carly went. We drove down Martin Luther King Boulevard the whole way, and I was like, "Well, this is fun. We're getting a real experience."
The socioeconomic changes go by your window every step along the way. So, so the other thing we're going to do, because again, we give away these tickets periodically for certain things. Typically, it's been something every year I've been here. It's just been members, and members can enter, and every time we draw, members. We're going to open this a little bit further this year. We have better seats. We had great seats always, but these are the best seats we've ever had. This is the most primo experience. So you and I were just talking. What we are going to do, beginning tomorrow, for those of you who may be watching this now or later, every detail that is booked in here at the showroom, whether you are a member or not, Every dollar spent towards detailing services is 1 entry into the next drawing.
Yeah.
And that game we're giving away is the 29th. So we're going to go from tomorrow through April 22nd. Every detail that's booked, every dollar is an entry.
Yeah.
We'll go through. So if you get a basic for $50, 50 entries. You go whole hog and you go incredible, you're going to get 225 entries for that. Then tack on a,
maybe you want to add in the headlight restoration, or maybe the floor mat restoration. That's an extra 50 or $100. That's extra entries.
You could stack upwards of 500 entries into one detail. One, you get your car detailed, and all the surfaces are all treated and cleaned, and so you'll go to the game in style, but you will have a whole lot of entries. So we are going to be doing that again starting tomorrow through the 22nd, and then we'll contact that winner and let them know. And there's going to be fun giveaways like this all around the season. So.
And because you don't have to be a member, you can either go through the app, so you could download the app. If it's your first time, you get 25 credits to use towards your detail, but that also counts as your entries. And you can just go to autowashco.com/detailing, and it's on there too. You can book a detail right then and there.
Yep.
And,
should stipulate your detail must be booked and completed before the entry deadline of the 22nd. So you got to get in. So you got to book that appointment. Will we have other opportunities? Absolutely. It is a long season. There are over 80 home games that we can take advantage of. Plenty of opportunities for people to win. There may be some different things. We might ask you to go do something specific at the wash. Maybe tune into a live stream at some point. You could win some tickets. So we're going to give away. I feel bad for our friends like G. Davis and Lars, who are so very far away.
G would have, if G lived here, he'd be like
all the time.
Probably getting, he'd be going bankrupt because he, one, would want to get his car detailed, mostly because he loves me, but two, just for tickets.
Yeah, I just want some tickets, right? Just give me the tickets. I don't even care. The Rockies are, it's no secret, the Rockies are historically not a great team.
Second lowest average team in the league?
Yeah.
As of 2024?
Not great. We're not going to bring the Angels in the conversation, but not great. But it is entertaining. It's good on the field product to watch. It's fun. And I've been to, I think at last count, I'm at 14, 15 stadiums throughout the league that I've visited.
Nice.
Usually a business trip and close to a baseball stadium during baseball season, I would go see a game.
Yeah.
It is among, even though it's starting to show its age, but it's still absolutely a gorgeous stadium.
It's beautiful.
One of the, I have a bucket list. I definitely want to get to PNC Park. I want to see Pittsburgh. That view is probably one of the coolest I've ever seen. That's a park I'm missing. But among all the ones I've seen, that late afternoon, evening game at Coors Field where you can actually see the mountains, you can see the Denver city skyline. You're in the middle of all of it. There's a baseball game going on. Sunsets are amazing here in Colorado. It is one of the coolest ways to see a baseball game. My kids love going. So.
Yeah, my kids became baseball fans, and Augie is now a diehard Rockies fan. He was so excited. He wore his jersey last week to school, and then is planning on wearing it tomorrow to school.
It is opening day. I will wear one of my jerseys tomorrow.
He's very excited. I will be wearing my Rockies Dixon that I have.
Which one's that one?
It's the royalty.
Ah, good one. Good call.
Yeah. So it's
I usually go with
gray.
Usually go with a gift.
Very nice.
That's also a purple. So G. Davis, the Angels are visiting this year. G. Davis, they're actually in on the, I believe, towards the end in September. Fun thing, we are going to be having an Autowash employee throw out a first pitch.
Yeah.
I believe that's on September 19th. The Angels are in town. I'm going to lobby for that one. I would like to get on the field. Based on how well the Angels are playing, there's a solid chance I can get a roster spot for the 2026 season.
Can you imagine that?
Dude, we saw you throw out that first pitch at the game. We know that you weren't on the mound. We don't allow that. You have to stand off to the side, but you didn't do the 50 cent and huck it off to the side.
Yeah.
So would you like a spot at spring training? I can see it coming. Me and Mike Trout palling around in Tempe, Arizona.
Can you imagine the fun that you would have?
He doesn't know he's missing.
Enjoying himself. So Mike, if you're watching, just think about that. That's all. Just put in a good word. Something simple.
God, what if I blow that first pitch? That'd be good. So, I played at PNC Pittsburgh. It is amazing. I agree. It's one of those, every time I see it, I go, God, I got to get there, because Pirates are not an exceptionally great team. Pirates are good. I love their uniforms. I love a lot about it, and I'm not a Pirates fan by any stretch, but I just love good baseball stadiums, and I've been fortunate enough. I actually attended a NL Division game back in the day in St. Louis, the Cardinals versus Giants game. Bumgarner pitched. It was great, and that was one of my bucket list cities I needed to get to and see a baseball game. I got lucky and saw playoff baseball there, but I think Pittsburgh is next on my list. St. Louis list. I still got to get to Wrigley, and I still got to get to Fenway. There's two the iconic ones I haven't been to, but
I've only been to two, Rockies and to Mariners, to Safeco.
It's also a nice park.
Safeco is beautiful because same thing. You get the city view, you get the harbor, you get all of that.
It's
very
fantastic.
nice. And the weather's temperate.
Yes.
It's quite nice.
It's at sea level. So
Yeah.
I get it. The smell of the fish market wafting in.
Yeah, it's not as fun, but it works.
So what is new here? Let's see. What
Well,
has happened since last week?
Well,
or 2
one
weeks ago?
that's big is we're at the end of TRCMA. As alumnists,
Yes,
you and I, it is rather weird and surprising to not be a part of it because it takes up such a huge amount of the year at Rag Company, and to leave right before the major planning. It was kind of fun to let it surprise me.
Yeah,
And
I've
see
been
what
tuning.
they came up with.
I didn't
right?
know what was going to happen, so
Right.
it's for a change, right? You're not on the schedule.
One of those. So I think the team did great. I think you guys got to see a lot of really cool stuff. I've been slowly following along, catching up in the evenings. I think yesterday I didn't even watch.
Yeah.
So it was nice to be able to catch up a little bit today, but I got to catch a little bit. We got to show some of it to the guys based on some of the products that we actually use here in the showroom. Iban from IK is actually flying in today here. He's going to swing by and check out the Autowash showroom tomorrow, I believe, or maybe even after this stream. We'll just see.
Super yes.
But so that'll be fun. That'll be exciting. And I think that's kind of a cool little benefit, little treat for the guys to get to meet somebody in the industry and play with. Maybe, hopefully he brings up something that they can play with. But if not, maybe he'll send us something. You never know. Yeah.
It was funny. We had a guest in from Rupa's today who mentioned, he says, "Hey, you guys were both on TRCMA." Really? And then I went back and looked. Yeah, they're playing some old clips. We're still in there. So even though we're there in spirit,
yes,
we will always
it's quite nice to feel like I'm there in spirit. It is funny when people are like, "Whoa, Levi's back," and I'm like, "No, I'm still here in Denver working."
It's the ghost of me.
That was like 4 years ago. I've far less gray in my beard in that video.
G. Davis agrees. Wrigley is on his list as well. I think
one.
Wrigley is one of those ones. Yeah, I can't. Wrigley or Fenway first when I get the opportunity. I'm not sure which one.
I'm worried that when I go to Fenway, I will cry. Like I will be like, happened to me the first time when I went to Disneyland and got to walk into Batu, the Black Spire Outpost, and see the Millennium Falcon in all its glory, and go.
Living out your childhood dreams?
Yeah, like I have a feeling that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna have the same thing, and then Augie will say out loud in front of everybody, "Are you crying?"
Thanks. No, I have something in my eyes.
Yeah. So I'm worried that that's gonna happen to me.
So maybe do Wrigley first then.
Yeah,
and
something that
emotionally prepare yourself.
I think I need to do like you and maybe hit a couple more before I'm ready.
Get emotionally charged up.
Yeah.
See, Michael wants to know, hand washing is good for preserving ceramic coating, but I don't have the tools to do it myself.
Oh.
Recommendations? Well,
it's easy to do that.
Yeah, you can go to Autowash.
You can. If you're local, you can go to Autowash.
Yep.
If you don't, it's not hard. You can get a bucket. You can get some pH neutral soap. You can, there's a lot of different easy ways to just wash at home. But if you're in an area where maybe you can't wash at home, another idea is to go to your local pay and spray, which is why Autowash has a number of self-serve bays as well.
Yep.
And you can utilize that. Just don't use the brush in the wash that's there, but maybe bring a bucket, get a Gamma seal, throw that on there. A bucket and a Gamma seal is what, $15?
Yep, a bottle of soap, a couple of good wash mitts, drying towels, and away you go.
Yeah, you use a pressure washer and then you wash it yourself and rinse it off and dry it. You can do that.
We've entered the era of kind of contrived complexity within washing, and I think that some people do get overwhelmed because they see it, and is it fun to have a pressure washer, a foam cannon, 5 buckets, 2 different grip cars, spot-free system, all this stuff? Yes, the obsessed garage level thing, like if you can do it, yeah, cool. That's a fun way to do it. But is it required to do it? No. I think the translation for most people is that I have to have these things in order to make this happen. And I don't honestly think we did it before. We were just fine doing it without all these fun tools. It's more, it becomes speed, convenience, joy of doing it. But like, can you fill a bucket with soapy water, dunk a mitt into it, and do this, and then rinse it, and then repeat? Yes, you absolutely can do that. I don't think that there's any requirement that says you have to have a lot of complicated stuff.
Well, and I just think back to like when I started teaching my children how to wash. It was the garden hose, it was a bucket of water, adding some soap to it, putting in some mitts, and then just washing the car. All right, I'm gonna rinse it and get it wet. You guys are gonna soap it up. And then obviously trying to keep the kids from spraying me with the hose. But point is, that's the basic, simple way that we teach our children how to wash. And the reason for that is because, well, they're little and maybe you don't want to use a pressure washer around them, or you
Not a
don't
good
want
idea
to
to hand them the pressure washer one.
or any of that kind of stuff. But if you think about it, that is the way we all learned how to wash. You think back to when we were kids and the first person to teach you how to wash a car, like that's how you learned. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so I think it's simple that a lot of people tend to, like you say, overthink it, or they go, oh crap, I can't do this.
It's the latest innovations. I mean, like there was a time, I mean, pressure washers were around when I started my first business when I was 16 years old, but we didn't have foam guns and foam cannons. That was all stuff that came along the way. So it's like we were mobile at that point, and so we had a trailer-mounted tank and a pressure washer, and it was only used for basically the initial rinse.
Yeah.
Everything else was done with a bucket and a mitt, and you'd soap the thing up, and then you'd do a pressure washer rinse at the end. But like, I mean, the foam cannon thing, well, again, while cool, consumes a lot more soap.
Yep.
Maybe speeds up your process a little bit. Make the argument that it's safer because there's more soap. Well, just use more soap and lower pressure if you're not enjoying that, or do a pre-soak. You know, take some diluted Optimum no rinse, some diluted Absolute, whatever you want to do, and pre-soak, and then do a regular wash. I've done that before when I don't have access to a pressure washer, and I'm pretty sure I can wash without scratching if I don't have a foam cannon.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that you don't need all that.
Yeah.
And I that was one of the things, like when I started detailing out of my garage again, just to make some extra money, was I started without a pressure washer at my house. And I thought, I really need to get in some of these fender wells. And then I thought, well, there's a paint spray down the street. I'll just drive over there, put an all-purpose cleaner on the tires and on the inner fender wells and everything that I really need, the heavy duty stuff. Spray all that out, drive home.
Yep.
I got a little bit of a kick up of dirt, but nothing major. I got all the heavy stuff out.
Yep.
And then I just used my garden hose and a garden sprayer, sprayed everything down, washed it, did what I needed to do, dried it, blew everything out because I did have an air compressor, blew all that out, and then I just worked on the car. And I did that until I said, man, I really don't like driving to go to the car wash to wash right now.
Yep.
So I'll spend $100 and I'll get a Sunjoe pressure washer.
5 washes later?
Oh, that thing lasted like 3 years.
Shocking. So you mean you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on a pressure washer for it to work?
That thing did everything it needed to do forever. I think I was doing probably 30 cars a year, so I got 90 washes out of that thing for $100. It's $1 a wash.
It is. I mean, it's good to aspire, right? It's good to aspire. Like, I want the spotless system. I want the
I don't need the Krenzla. Yeah.
I want the perfect hose. I want a hose reel. I want this. I want that. I want the bucket filling hose. I want all these things. That's all cool if you can do it. But if you're just looking for a basic solution, Michael, heck, go get the basic washing supplies. You'd be surprised what you can do with that. And if you don't want to do that, to Levi's point, find your local pay and spray. Avoid the brush. I mean, you can do a pretty solid wash without making contact with that. But if the wash is cool enough and they'll let you like take over the time with the bucket and wash it in the bay, and they won't run you out of there, do your wash there. But there's no reason you have to do it.
No, it goes along with that with everything. There's so much innovation that people think about and add and all this. You know, we've got like my friends at Detail Factory brought out picks and things to clean and scrape and get in all those. Awesome, great, love it. I never used them for years. I just used compressed air or brushes, and I would tighten up the brushes with electrical tape.
Yep.
For that trick, you just get those bristles really stiff so you could get into some of those.
I used to go, actually to have my wife, she would buy like makeup brushes from Macy's. A good, like, I guess it was a powder brush, I don't know, makeup. And I would take them and I would actually either cut or I would razor blade them at an angle. Yeah. So you'd get one side of this, nice fat brush, but one end was the bristles were so short you could scrub out stuff. But then you had the longer end that you reach into between the vents and stuff. So I was making my own brushes back then. I mean, makeup brushes are not cheap. No. Don't think there's anything special about them particularly. I just think because they say like MAC Cosmetics or something, they're soft. Yeah. But I would make my own interior brushes that way. And then for things that were non-delicate, I'd go buy cheap wooden handled paint brushes. I'd do the same thing. I'd carve shapes out of the bristles. I'd cut them in an angle, or I'd cut them in a wedge, because I needed something just to, I wasn't worried about scratching. It was never an exterior use, but it was like cleaning air conditioning vents, right? Or whatever it might be. You go, okay, I'm gonna cut this one that's a perfect size and that goes most vents, and stick in there and do this. So necessity is the mother of invention. There are professionally designed tools that are backed by great companies now that you can go out there and get. Boy, we've gone a long way from washing cars.
But no, that's what it is.
It is. You can invent a way to fix this stuff on your own.
Yeah, and it goes right back to that, like, how do I wash a car if I don't have everything I need? Well, you just figure it out.
And G. Davis, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the current state of the detail industry, particularly YouTube and the abundance of influencers. Gosh, where to start?
First, make sure you subscribe to the Autowash Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube channel. Please do that.
Yeah, follow these influencers. It's interesting. I'm never one to, I know there's a lot of like, there's just too many and everybody, you know, I heard, actually did make me laugh. Somebody called it the hexagon crew the other day, referring to the lights.
Yeah.
And I go, that is kind of a funny reference because that does seem to be the trendy thing. I get a studio, I paint the walls black, I put hexagon lights up, and then all my shots look the same as the other guys.
I wonder who really got that idea
Yeah,
from.
I know, right? But it's one of those things that I'm not gonna crap on anybody who wants to start a channel and talk about it. Where I do get kind of a little bit sideways on this stuff is the guys who kind of, they appear out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're purely YouTube certified. And again, nothing wrong with YouTube videos, but you need some real world experience and some things. And they start a channel, and they start regurgitating information from channels and people who've been in the industry for so long as if it were their own. They don't, this is not a book report. You don't have to cite sources, but I do believe very much in Matt Moorman saying like honor the source. Like if you're gonna use it, at least say, hey, you know, I learned this, I picked this up from, I don't even care if you're specific, but don't claim as if you invented it, right?
Yeah.
You go, hey, this is this method that I've seen a lot of, you know, legacy detailers taught me this, and I've watched a lot of things, and I've refined it, and you tweak it, make it your own, whatever it is. It's those guys that I think are really the plague on the industry right now, is that they're everywhere. They're all talking from this position of authority. Just simply because you get a YouTube channel does not make you an expert. They're free and they give them to anybody. But it's more that kind of the appropriation of legacy thoughts and ideas and presenting them out as your own.
Yeah.
And that's not new. I think it's the proliferation of it. There's so much of it now.
Well, and it's different for us because you and I are arguably
The elder statesmen?
the elder statesmen and the early pioneers.
Senior citizens?
Yeah, we're the early pioneers that had to battle the dysentery and having to hunt for food.
Oh, gosh. You've killed too much bear meat. You can only carry so much back to your wagon.
So, like, I look at it at a different view, same way like you do. Like, it's that, this isn't, not everything that they're doing is groundbreaking and new. It was new when we were doing it, and it is that regurgitation. And it would, I'm not saying they have to, but it would be nice to see if these newer folks come out, what their ideas and opinions are based on who they are and where they came from.
Or push it forward. There's nothing wrong with, I mean, there were people, I didn't manifest knowledge from nothing, right?
No, we still got it
We all had to
from
absorb
somebody.
something from the guys who came before us, and we didn't have the luxury of YouTube to spread that information faster. But, you know, I took a lot of what I learned, and some of it was patently false. I come to learn later, right?
Right,
You know,
100%.
well, cotton baby diapers and all that kind of stuff, which was the best we had at the time.
When I first bought my first bag of those. It was so nice.
So it made you such a rock star. But it's one of those things that you can take the information and modernize it, improve it, take what is there and make it better, or experiment. You know, like, hey, this is a technique I've seen has been around for a while. There's a video, it's funny, it came up a while ago. I had a video that I had uploaded. It's actually in, of all places, my photo bucket album.
Nice.
I still have it. I'm still paying my $5 a month to keep all my forum images. It was something that I had done for Adams Polishes, and it was, I had this working theory of like, okay, well, if a 2-bucket wash is working, then if I dunk in a third bucket, that third bucket should stay clear. So I actually did a time-lapse video. It's when I still lived in California. I'm washing my my Avalanche, so it would have been around 2009. I had 3 buckets each and I did a very measured experiment of foaming the car down, washing. I did first bucket, second bucket, third bucket with soap. You get back and actually proved out that there was a tiny, tiny bit of grit showing up in that the second dunk. So the first one was not getting everything. There was still a little bit left. Like, okay, that was my experiment there. So then it becomes like, okay, how do you improve the performance of that? Or do you pre-rinse the mitt before you go back into the rinse bucket, whatever it might be. But I don't see a whole lot of that experimentation anymore. And I get that there's a narrowing window for it. There's only so many different ways you can try something. But I think the people who bring the most value to the industry, detailing specifically now, are those that are willing to take an existing idea and not just accept it for what it is and go, that's it, and I'm going to regurgitate it, but take it and go, I wonder if this could be better.
Yeah.
Is there a way? You can take all of this amazing information that's out there, and some of the fun of experimentation, maybe you do it and maybe you find out that you're dead wrong. You develop a hypothesis. Would an extra bucket remove more grit from my mitt? You test it, and you document it, and you think very scientifically about it, and if you're not in it just to sell more buckets, you're actually doing this from a place of like, I want to determine if another bucket does make this better. Be prepared to be proven wrong. You go, well, turns out 2 buckets was enough. 3 isn't needed. But that experimentation thing, I don't think happens as much anymore. Again, it's a narrowing field because there's only we figured out a lot. There's not a whole lot left to figure out.
Or even like with us, with the enhancement, the 20-minute one-step.
Yep.
There's so many detailers that were pushing and pushing and pushing that you got to have this. You got to get this full correction. You got to do this. And I remember when you sent me Uno Protect and said, try this and do this. And I did it and was like, holy crap, I can be quick. I can be fast. And started playing with it. And it was like, you guys weren't kidding. This is something that we can really help push and grow. And it's still one of those things, like once we show it to proven trust, like detailers that have been doing it for a long time and they see it and their eyes change, in a sense, they look at it differently and they go, oh, holy cow. I've been doing this all day long. Well, you don't have to. You can do it this way.
There's more than one way. Yeah, think about all the used car lots, new car lots, car rental places, all places that can benefit from a service like that if only we take the time to educate them and go, you know what, I know you think polishing a car is a massive endeavor and it's very expensive and it takes a lot of time. Here's 20 minutes. And we did it at Rupa several times. There were several dealerships we were able to kind of indoctrinate into the process, and they went, oh, I could teach this to anybody. Go, that's the point. This is low barrier of entry.
Extremely repeatable.
Customers are going to love it. It's better than what you're doing now. Is it full correction? No, but it is so much better than what you're doing, which is paying a guy to show up with a van and pressure wash them off and dry them with a beach towel.
Yeah.
Like, let's
an old chamois.
Yeah,
let's throws on the ground and pressure washes off.
Yep.
Then shakes it off and throws it back on the car.
Michael came back. He says, "You are my local pan spray. Levi knows the truck. Thank you." So
nice.
So yes. So go to Autowash. So we can maintain you there. If an inside tip, if you haven't used Graphome or Graphene Booster in the seltzer bays, those are both coating compatible products.
Pretty rad.
It is. It's also it smells amazing too.
Yeah.
So, but Michael, if you're going to use the pan spray, don't do it every time. Don't do Graphome every single time. I will tell you there are diminishing returns. It's not intended to be done that way. But I would say once a month, if you go through the pan spray, you're not hand washing, you're trying to maintain that coating, do just a regular foam down with our complete crush soap, do a good pressure wash. That's usually enough to get everything off a coated car, especially this time of year when we don't have a ton of weather anymore. It's just light snow and rain and dust. Then every once in a while, you might want to do a contact wash. Bring a mitt with you. Don't use the brushes in our bays. The brushes in our bays are there for somebody who wants to wash an RV or something. They're not worried about scratches, but I wouldn't touch your paint with it. Yeah. In those instances, though, I would then throw a layer of the Graphome on there. That stuff I love Graphome because it's an all-in-one. It does a little bit of everything. It does a little bit of cleaning. It does a whole lot of shining and a lot of protection. And it is based in the same graphene technology we put in our incredible wash. So it is absolutely compatible with all ceramic coatings. It will not neuter your beading. It's not going to have any negative impact on that. So you can do that every once in a while. It's a nice refresh for your coating. The beading starts to get a little tighter again. I do it about once every, if I'm not here at the showroom doing it myself or I'm at one of our locations, about every fourth wash in the self-serve on the Hummer, I get a coating of Graphome on there. So what else is new in the showroom this week? We saw the uptick, the weather got good, and then today we got snow again, so of course the volume has ticked down again.
It's been getting busier. We've had a lot more customers pulling up to get their cars done. One thing that most people aren't taking advantage of is our buy 3, get 1 free of our basics, which are just a basic hand wash on the outside, as well as some Superior Shine wheels and tires.
4 hand washes for $150.
Yeah,
schedule them when you want them.
It's a great deal, and you can use them anytime you want. That's the cool part, and so that's something that I really want people to try and take advantage of. We have one customer, I think it was actually Michael, that it's one of those where he uses the basic because that's how he would wash his truck.
Love it.
And it makes it much easier, and so it's the way that he feels he would do it. We had a couple other folks that have come in that are car fans that just didn't have the time and said, I want to have it done because that's how I would do it. I just haven't got all my stuff out yet.
I can relate. I don't have time. I barely have time anymore. So it's fantastic when I can come in here and tip the guys and get a quick hand wash on the Hummer. And life is life. And it's as you get older and your kids get older and all the things, it's finding time to just go, I'm going to go wash my car. I wish I had the time.
I was back there teaching one of our service guys how to do the windows because he's cleaning out one of the service trucks. And I showed him how to get the water spots off using Clarity Cream and a 3-inch, and was showing it. And as I was doing it, my elbows and shoulders were clicking and popping, and I was like, man, this is getting harder to do this to teach. And,
a rusty old gate hinge.
So I showed him, and I was like, all right, clean the window. I was like, that's all it is. And he's like, all right, I can do this. I said, sweet, get on it.
D. Davis wants to know if we have plans to build more of the detail shops. Yes.
Yeah, the goal is that for future is as we build at least 10 locations in an area, we will build a showroom in that area to support those washes.
Yep. So as franchise starts to pick up steam and we actually start opening up new markets, every 10 or so locations will be anchored by a showroom detail center. It probably won't be as big and as elaborate as this, but does need to be.
Yeah,
so,
but it'll probably have a bit of a hub where we've got the showroom to do some cars for that area, as well as maybe tools, equipment, things like that for service.
Service and repair. Yeah, so it's interesting because the seasonality of it, it was weird. Like the weather got warm, we had a couple 80-degree days.
We got started getting packed.
And then people started showing up, like got walk-ins and all that kind of stuff, which is great that we can service that kind of business. And then as soon as the forecast hit, we're like, yep, snow again.
Yeah, we had 2 cars scheduled today. One showed up, one didn't.
Yep.
And it's like, all right.
Can't blame them. It's still actively snowing outside. So welcome to Colorado. If you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. I'm just hoping it gets it out of its system now and we can enjoy
Yeah,
the game
I know, right?
tomorrow.
That's what I'm hoping for you guys.
It would be much better that way.
Done because it keeps moving.
Yeah.
It keeps saying like, oh, it's going to be all day
40%,
Friday and Saturday.
60%,
And then it's
90%,
all,
no
no,
percent.
no, it's actually going to be Thursday and Friday. Or, oh no, it's only going to be all Thursday.
Yep.
So fingers crossed.
So while you were dealing with the volume of details this week, the marketing department at Autowash was busy conducting interviews.
Yes.
Not interviews for features, but interviews for creative specialist positions. New member of the team. So as we continue to grow and evolve, there's always more. So we had some excellent candidates come in this week, had some very fascinating conversations with people who've done, it's amazing the amount of things that somebody with a creative eye for things ends up doing. So we have some good candidates. We're actually going to be sending out some contacts today to some of them, and have a little bit follow-up, and have them do some, here's a project for you to work over the weekend, kind of show us your chops, and then we're going to make some decisions next week, and hopefully welcome a new member to the team. So it's exciting times at Autowash. We've got, Leon's been onboarding new customer service agents. We've got new facilities people joining the team. If anybody is watching and you are in the area or considering moving to Denver, autowashco.com/jobs.
There are a lot of jobs posted.
We have a lot of open positions, some continuous hiring things. We're always looking for additional talent. No detailers right now. We're good in the detail department because I know there's some people here go, oh, I can move to Colorado and work with Dylan and Levi. Unfortunately, not at the moment, but you can. There is just if there's not an open position posted you like, there is just a send us your resume type thing. So for future consideration, we keep all that stuff you guys send in, and when we open a position, we go back through the archives and go, hey, this is that guy that applied for that position that wasn't open at the time. We really like him. Let's call him and tell him there's a position available now.
Helps out. So much so that the other thing we did was our friends across the street here, right over our shoulder, the Cracker Barrel. They're in the process of all of their hiring and interviews.
Oh boy.
Stuff. So me and the boys went over to build a little goodwill, set up the foundation for a future lifelong endeavor with our friends at Cracker Barrel. We detailed all the managers' vehicles this week.
There's a lot of shiny cars at the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, so that was fun just to get them in, get them to know who we are and what we do and all that kind of stuff. Take care of their cars because I know they've been going through it right now.
That place is busy. I was walking over to the Quick Trip to get my my usual once a week or more than once a week, I guess. Quick Trip to get a beverage and one of their delicious grilled cheese sandwiches, and almost looked like the place was open. Like there were so many cars, and I realized. And then there was a guy walking back from Quick Trip with his Cracker Barrel shirt on, definitely like a line cook or something like that, and he kind of gives us the nod. He knows who we are already, but that place is there. I mean, just for training, that parking lot is full. There's really a lot of humans working there.
Yeah,
so.
they are in it. And that is a beautiful place. When we went in to get the keys for all of them, it's gorgeous. I'm excited for it to start up and be able to help and continue discussions of Cracker Barrel.
G. Davis has offered his services as an intern to get away from his family for the summer.
You totally can do that. G, come on down. Just you can join up with every employee that maybe gets tickets or needs a friend to go to the game. You can just say, oh, I'm available at any time.
We'll work for baseball tickets, G. Davis. I get it. Hey, man, that's cool. So, guys, if you got anybody else in the chat, we got about 10 of you hanging out with us right now. If you got any questions about detailing car washing, we're just kind of shooting the stuff here on a snowy, cold,
surprising
Thursday afternoon in Denver, Colorado.
So this weekend I did get 3 crows to come to my yard finally after a number of years trying to attract crows to the Gates family homesteads.
Okay. How did you do that?
Peanuts.
Really?
Yeah. So, usually I call for them, and whenever I see crows, I like to call to them. I talk to them, when I was at Rag Company, I had a few crow friends that would meet up with me every morning, wait for me, usually find a parking spot for me. They would stand above it. And then I get out, I throw some beef jerky and some peanuts to them, say hello, ask them how their day was going, and then they'd hang out. It was kind of a fun way to start a morning. And so I brought in that same trickery to my home.
You're gonna form like a, what's a group of crows called a murder?
It is a murder, and they recognize faces.
That is both interesting and horrifying.
Yeah, so the goal is that I have an army of crows in my neighborhood to be able to follow my children, keep watch over my household, things of that nature.
I believe there's a nefarious activity, but if you do build up a murder of crows that is at your beck and call, I mean, there's always the jokes that, like, right, if you wash your car, the birds are going to...
I'd like them to just roost on my house, just mostly to scare off neighbors.
I kind of want them just to, like, not the cars that you've just detailed.
Right, no.
But, like, cars passing by. Like, if they could drop a few key strategic bombs on a windshield, right as somebody was passing the Autowash Showroom, generate...
Could you imagine if I just, as I'm driving into work, I have my own murder following me, and then I park my car and they all hang out in this tree over here, just attacking cars.
You guys ever notice that there's a lot of crows here? No, I've never. What?
Yeah.
What a weird thing to accuse us of. Why are they all wearing Autowash shirts?
We just made them. They're small.
Michael noticed that there is a new product wall behind us. What's good in the store? You want to talk about some of the stuff we brought in the store?
So we've got some fun items in the store. Not only do we have a lot of the current Autowash line, but we've also got the Adams Autowash collaboration of the new Complete Clean, as well as a number of Adams products back there and Rag Company products. So we tried to build out a system of products that you would need. So Michael, like I said, if you want to wash your car, we've got some soap. We've got Complete Crush. We've got Adams Car Wash soap available. If you're looking for wash mitts or dog bones, we've got those. We've got brushes. We got wheel brushes. We got wheel cleaners. We got
drying towels,
glass cleaner. We got drying towels. We've got all kinds of stuff. We got pretty much everything you could buy, 4 or 5 bottles of stuff, and a couple packs of towels, maybe a couple brushes. And you'd have everything that you need to really just keep up on your car.
Yep.
One of the fun things is most people don't realize it's something that I started doing with this new car is the touch screens. The touch screens get filthy.
It's
absolutely filthy. Yeah. And so one of the things I do is clean off those touch screens. And so one of the nice products is that new Adams Total Surface Interior Cleaner.
I use that stuff like
so simple. Yeah. Wipe it, cleans all your screens. You can use it to clean your glass. You can wipe down your door panels, your dash, any of that kind of stuff. And I've been using it mostly to just clean up the kids. I'm amazed at what they touch and grab, and you're like, how is your fingers that oily?
How do you get that greasy?
Yeah.
Why
is that all over the seats?
It's that product specifically I fell in love with. Joe over at Adams actually gave me a bottle. We were there doing a video shoot. There's a video on the channel about how we're ceramic coating friendly. Then he says, "Do you need anything?" I said, "Yeah, you know what? I'm out of." I had my Wowos actually. I'd run out of my Wowos. I occasionally.
I have 1 bottle of interior finisher left.
That's it. That's the end of it.
I haven't cracked it yet.
I'm a big fan of Jeremy Stevens stuff. Like he has his interior stuff, so I always keep some of that on hand. I was just trying something new, and I said, "What do you got?" And Joe goes, "Oh, you got to try Total Interior Detailer." And I go, "I developed that stuff, Joe." And he goes, "No, we redid it. It's different now. You got to try this." So he gives me, that's now the clear blue version. I'm used to the old opaque green is what we developed, right? And that stuff, if you used it on a door panel and the window was up, then that you'd spray and there'd be a mist on the glass. And so then you'd take a towel and you'd wipe that and that would get smudgy. So you get your glass cleaner, you'd spray that, you'd wipe that off, but then the glass cleaner would get the dressing off the door panel and you're this never ending cycle until you'd go, I'm an idiot, you roll down your window, dress the panel, roll the window up, right?
But then you got to go back outside and
go outside, the whole thing. It's just a mess, right?
Yeah.
But that stuff, it's crazy because it does streak glass, it doesn't streak touch screens, but it still does the cleaning and dressing and touch up of like the hard surfaces. So I'm a
So that's one of the that's an easy one, especially people that are on the fence and they're like, I don't really know what I want.
Easy.
Detail spray and an interior cleaner is all you really need.
Absolutely.
Like that'll get you everywhere and anything that you need to do.
Yep.
With your car, especially if you're pairing it with an Autowash membership.
Yep.
But a drying towel, another great thing. We got 1500s, which you use on the Hummer.
Necessary.
It's a very large drying towel, very thirsty drying towel. And for those that maybe just want to wipe down their car, you pair that with the Adams Detail Spray. Spray it down, do a quick wipe down when you're sitting.
And everybody who's using our seltzer bays, or if you're going through our touchless and you're coming out and you want to do that touch up when you're done, having one of those, there's no reason you shouldn't have some drying towel or a microfiber towel of some sort in your trunk, in your glove box, whatever. Get out of the car after the wash, even if it's automatic, and we've blown off, our 85, 90% of whatever we try to blow off of the car. Get out, pull over to a vacuum island, and spend a couple of minutes with a little bit of complete clean or a quick detailer, and wipe those things down. One, get all the water droplets off. Not that we're going to cause spotting or spotless water, but still. But then also you get a chance to kind of address those nooks and crannies, get a couple of things, a nice little touch up.
Look at your car.
Yes.
You might not have known if someone had hit you in a parking
lot.
lot.
You might want to look at it.
Right? Like, because we do have customers that happens where they maybe don't realize that they parked, they went to they got to the parking lot of a Walmart, they hopped out, the front right corner maybe got hit, and they never saw it because they came around from the back, they got in, they pulled it in their garage, they never see that spot on their vehicle until they wash their car and they go, oh no, what the heck? So being able to do that and just keep your own eye on your vehicle is a good thing to do for folks, is to be able to see that and look at that and go, oh, perfect.
Yeah, having just the basics. I don't care how much of a car nut you are. Having a microfiber towel and some kind of lubricant, whether it be complete clean, a quick detail, or something, is like bare minimum. Like for anybody, if you're not even a major car enthusiast, having those things to clean up those bird bombs on those surprises, post-wash cleanup, that kind of stuff. Then if you want to take it to another level, then having something like Adam's Total Interior for wiping stuff down in between. If you have those two products, your car will look 10 times better and be maintained much better if you just have those things at the ready. But waiting until you get home, there's at least a couple of towels in the Hummer at all times and a bottle of complete clean, and it's what I roll with. And it's there, if I pull up in a parking lot and a bird drops a bomb on the hood, I've got everything I need to get that off before it becomes an issue. If I go to the wash and there's a little extra water, because that thing holds water like a sieve. Those roof panels are just, there's water for days after it's washed, there's water running out. I can pull off, wipe those on, any streaks on the windows, and I look pristine and clean. It's not about being this kind of like crazy, like, oh, I'm a clean freak. This is like basic stuff that anybody who's even remotely into cars should be doing. Yeah,
well, and especially for people with like a lease or a brand new car, it's good to just keep your stuff clean, especially if you get in the habit of it. Because it's going to be that much better if you decide to trade it in or sell it or whatever. Just keeping up on it. I am amazed when people just don't care about their car at all. They get in it, they drive it, they mess it up, they get it dirty, they never vacuum it, they never wipe down a dash. They don't. It's almost like they're scared to touch anything.
And it's like there's a slogan on the wall behind us.
Yeah.
Because you love your car. That's why we're here.
But then you go, do you vacuum your floors in your house? Oh yeah, I do that all the time. I don't even let people wear shoes in my house. It's like, okay, but those are vacuums. Like you just suck up all the dirt at least.
But it's a car. The carpet in that car is totally different.
Yeah, it is wild to me when people just can't seem to just basic.
So, Michael, I think you're a candidate to come in here. We are happy to have that conversation. So tying all your questions together, you want to do some at-home washing, come see Levi and the team. Come pick up some stuff. We'll still wash your car while you're here. Come in and get your basic detail if you want to, but then you can pick up some stuff to do some maintenance going forward.
Yeah, exactly.
See, Scott Kelly, WOWO's quick detailer and interior finisher with some love. So yes, those were fun products. I missed the smell.
So WOWO's got purchased by a new company.
Really?
A detail shop up in Glasgow. Bought them out.
Okay.
I was very excited to hear about it, and I went on their website to check it out. Unfortunately, they don't ship outside of Scotland right now. And I was like, oh man, because they were showing off 5 gallons of interior finisher, 5 gallons of quick detailer.
So same formula is unchanged as far as we know?
As far as I know, all the formulas, it's everything Anthony and I worked hard on to get built with Fraser. And it's all still there. They haven't changed stuff. They still have Malo wax. They still have Contact 121 wax.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
There's a chance if we can figure out a way to get up to Glasgow, create like maybe a Fast and Furious style heist. Thinking maybe you, me, maybe G. Davis wants to join us. A couple other folks that are big fans of the old WOWO's line, and we figure out a way. Maybe it's 7 cars deep.
I mean, if Vin
maybe
Diesel,
it's you and me.
If Vin Diesel and The Rock can go to space in cars, we can go to Glasgow.
Yeah, I think it's not that hard. We can do a heist and get some product and come back.
Michael continues, spring flurries means I'm in for a basic detail. Yep, I don't disagree, Michael. We will see you soon. G. Davis thinks we need a merch shop, especially the orange hoodie. It is in progress. We have some cool merch. I have some shirts. I have some other stuff coming. So we get a full line built out. There will be the option to purchase said items. Don't you worry, my friend. By the way, your hat is in the mail as all the winners were shipped out. So those will be arriving with you guys soon.
Sweet.
Juice, I have the beginning of clear coat failure on my pristine low mileage '04 Corolla. Is there anything I can do to slow it down?
Not really.
Yeah, the unfortunate reality of it is that no matter what you do, once that delamination process starts, there's really no stopping it. There's obviously no reversing it, but it is going to continue. Throwing a protectant on it helps a little bit, but it's still, but once that edge is lifted, that's, I mean,
It's
if you,
just an entry
you
point at
picture it's like it's a ledge, and so things are going to try and get under there. Don't rub on it. Don't try minimal abrasion, especially don't rub against it. You know, if it's this, don't go this way. Try and rub downhill off the lip of the failure. But pretty much you can slow it down a little bit, but it's not. It's basically.
I mean, you basically shaved the edges
Yeah.
of that ledge with a. I mean, I've done it before for some people. It's rough, but it's a razor blade, and you're just slowly shaving edges and stuff.
Give less places for it to hook onto and peel away.
And then coat it and hopefully build a new ledge to get some water off for a little while, because the coating doesn't bond to the paint.
Yeah, and the application protects a few things, right? It'll keep the elements off it. If you can avoid exposure to the elements, UV exposure is the one thing that's going to accelerate that faster. You've lost the integrity of the UV layer. The clear coat was there to protect that in the first place. So you definitely want to protect the area where the clear coat is failing for no other reason than it prevents the underlying color coat from going further, right? The clear coat is a lost cause. It's dead and dying, and it's going to continue to spread. So the protection really is more about keeping you from losing coloration or getting uneven color underneath in the base coat. You can slow it down a little bit, avoid exposure, don't use high pressure on it.
I've seen some people that'll save like maybe a top of a quarter panel that'll start to show a little bit. They'll clean it up, they'll polish it up, and then I've seen them they literally take PPF and throw it over it, knowing though that at some point when you peel that PPF, it's all coming with you. So
maybe you just vinyl wrap the whole thing, right?
Yeah, it'll get you 10 years. But like we did that on the Subaru project that you and I were recently featured on, was that same kind of thing where we were able to get PPF on the roof because we didn't paint it, and the clear was starting to start to fail up there. So we PP'd the PPF the top and made it nice, and it worked perfectly. So
killer.
Looked great.
So going back to showroom stuff, so we talked about a little bit of product stuff. We've talked about a little bit what's going on with the details. Look, we are popular today. We are in the showroom. This is an active business, guys. So there are people here. We did have Stephen Lipinski, one of our original customer feature videos. Again, another great video to go look up in our Because You Love Your Car series. He's got a tan 4Runner. Great guy. He's an awesome dude. He's got a great story about why he bought the car that he bought, and so we did a little feature on him. What's really cool though is that he came in. So we have a new program. It's a secret program. We can't tell you how to get onto it. You can only earn your way in, but we can't tell you how. It's weird. But it's called the A-List. Yeah. It's like this double secret club. It's an insiders club. If you're on the A-List, you're going to get special communications from us about different events. So for example, Steven earned his way in by being the subject of a customer feature, being a very, very loyal customer to the brand. He's been in a couple other videos for us. Him and his brand new baby were in a Father's Day photo shoot last year. Some of my favorite photos we've ever taken. So if any of our A-listers are watching, we're going to be seeing some of you guys soon. I see you guys are booking your appointments here at the showroom to get your car shot.
Very thankful.
But it's just a reminder that anybody watching this, the more you engage with Autowash, the more you have fun with us on these things and comment on live streams, interact with us on social media, you may find yourself invited to a photo shoot. You may find yourself on the A-List.
Yeah, he got a new hat. He was able to get a new hat today. Yep. He was able to come in and get his truck detailed. It was great.
Well, I think we can probably call it because it looks like we've got some people here that want to talk to you about detailing.
Possibly.
And I will let you go, and I'll wrap this up. Why don't you go sell some details, Mr. Gates?
Okay. I don't know if we'll see how we do.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, but I'll let Dylan take on some of this leftover stuff here. So.
Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go through the last little bits of the questions here, but Levi's got customers coming in. They want to book appointments. They want to talk detailing, so we're not going to hold him up any longer. We want the customers to be able to get what they want, even on a snowy, cold day here in Denver. I want to remind everybody, if you are a local customer and you're in the app and you entered our contest for the Rockies tickets, we actually announced our winner. We announced at the beginning of the stream. You will be receiving contact from us and all of your explanations on what to do next to claim your tickets for the 8th. If you are in the area and you want to enter the next giveaway, starting tomorrow, every dollar spent on details in the showroom is an entry into the next giveaway, which is for the game on the 29th. So So from the 4th to the 22nd, every dollar you spend 50 with us, you get 50 entries. You spend 200, you get 200 entries. So we're going to give you all kinds of entries and chances to win premium VIP tickets to a Rockies game. That includes 4 seats, VIP parking right up front of the stadium, and includes food, all this kind of stuff. It's an awesome experience. So if you're a local customer, make sure that you're looking at our detail page, get that booked, get in for a detail, and not only do you get a clean, shiny car, you are going to get a chance to win some awesome tickets. We will be doing this again, not next week, but the following, so it's every other week. We'll be back on our Friday schedule after that. We'll go back to horizontal, hopefully, if we can figure out why YouTube keeps forcing us into vertical mode. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments on this video. It will be posted permanently here in just a little while. We want ideas for that next discussion session. Hopefully the Rockies have a fantastic opening day, and we'll see you guys on the next one.